splitting a couple but losing 8. So this would be a great day to take 2 out of 3 on the heels of just a wonderful overall effort last night.
Absolutely, and it just looked like everybody was confident in every facet of the game. You know, the pitching, the defense, the offense, everything worked to perfection, and they needed to last night. They were going up against a really good foe, John Maine, one of the toughest guys to hit, and we crushed him. Nick Johnson, you see him right there with a 3-run home run. Adam Dunn had hit one earlier in the ball game, and then on defense, guys are spectacular. When they start picking it like that, it gives you a lot more confidence as a pitcher, Bob.
John Lannon, lots of ground ball outs, 96 pitches, 61 strikes, and double play after double play. What we saw from John Lannon tonight is what we hope for from all of our young pitchers.
Just go after guys, attack him. He had 21 first pitch strikes. That's the bottom line. And when he did walk somebody or get somebody on, he rolled a double play ball. That's what pitching is.
And you can even pitch around walks when you're getting ground balls for double plays. That was outstanding. Pitching matchup today, Craig Stammen, 5 innings, 3 runs, 4 hits against the Mets on May 26th. And that other guy, Livan Hernandez, that day pitched his 47th career complete game. On Masson, brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by GE, Imagination at Work. It's a beautiful day to hang out around the center field plaza. All the statues, the flags, and a beautiful day at Nationals Park. Nats are trying to make it 2 in a row and win the series from the Mets, who've beaten Washington 6 out of 8 times this year. A lot of little leaguers, a lot of softball players at the ballpark today. They were able to parade around the yard earlier this morning. It looks like we're going to be significantly late with first pitch. The umpires are just now coming out, and first pitch scheduled for right now. So, Rob, a chance to chat about a few things, and, you know, it's hard to forget about last night. It's just one of those nights when you come to the ballpark and everything goes right for your team. The pitching makes the defense better, and then the hitters get a little charge into things with some early offense as well.
Well, it's a question of doing your job or not doing your job. And last night, everybody was doing their job. John Lannon, you know, great called game by Will Nieves, who was pumping him up the entire game. The defense played well, and the offense got him some early leads. And that's, like you said, in the open, you can't script the game any better than that. And New York Mets are scuffling right now. They've only won 2 of their last 2 out of 5 in their last 7 games. They had just come off being swept by the Pirates before they showed up in town. Christian Guzman is swinging the bat again, and that helps everybody at the top of the order. And then 5 double plays last night, including the one that Elijah Dukes helped out with. So, you know, John Lannon did what he had to do when he got in trouble. And this is some of the defense last night. You know, when you see guys making plays like that, and Anderson Hernandez picked that thing off the ground and turned a double play, as a pitcher, when you do get in a jam, it gives you confidence that you can get out. I mean, when he picked that ball, too, I mean, that's just the beauty of Ryan Zimmerman at third base, Nick Johnson at first. You know those plays are going to be made 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, I told you we had some softball players here today. They're about to holler play ball. Odd thing about that play in right field with Elijah Dukes last night, in checking the stat sheet this morning, they did not add 5 double plays onto the Nats total. They just added 4. We considered that a double play, but I guess it's not considered a grounding into double play. But usually, even a fly ball caught in the outfield and a runner throw out at home, that's considered a double play. But for some reason, that play was not officially considered one. Hey, the Nats got 2 outs on the play. They won the game. That's all that matters. On the Southwest.com lineup, the Mets are hitting .276, second in the league. David Wright, the big reason. He's hitting .406 on the road, number 2 in baseball. Carlos Beltran, .393 on the road, number 3 in the major leagues, and Gary Sheffield getting another day off today. So if you can get yourself pitched around those 2 guys, although our former Nat Ryan Church is back in the lineup for the Mets off the DL, you have a great chance of beating this beat up ball club.
There's not a lot of guys in this lineup that scare you, Bob. That's the problem with our pitching staff this year. We attack every lineup like it's filled with Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig's. It's not like that at the major league level any longer. So you got to let these guys try to put the ball in play. Let's give you the PNC breakdown. Out of his 4 starts so far, and this is 4th, 2 of them have been against the New York Mets. Hey, 21 first pitch strikes worked for John Landon last night. For Craig Stamens, just go after him, attack, and don't give up. If somebody gets a hit off one of your good pitches, come right back with it. I mean, you know, challenge them. See if they can continue to hit your best stuff.
Nationals defensively, Guzman, Hernandez up the middle like they were last night. Austin Kearns getting a start in right field. Willie Harris was there in center last night, where Dukes is now, and Dunn in left. Zimmerman, Johnson, and Josh Bart. That's pretty much alternating catchers almost on a daily basis here. Alex Cora will lead off for the Mets, batting .300. 0 for 4 in this series with a walk. Nationals have held the Mets to 4 runs on 11 hits in the first 2 games of the series. Here's the first one of the day. Low and away. We're underway at 1:39. Clear skies. Beautiful. 77 degrees. Flags aren't doing much of anything. The ones on top of the scoreboard are moving a little bit out toward left field. Stammen goes 2-0. And this is a great example. Here's a batter with no home runs. The next batter has no home runs. The bottom 2 in the lineup, no home runs. It's a day to challenge the Mets. At least most of them. 3-0, says Darryl Cousins, the crew chief, 31-year veteran. DJ Rayburn, Jim Joyce, Brian Runge on the bases. John Lannon walked the leadoff man last night. And Josh Bart has a word or 2 for his young pitcher.
Well, just forget that at bat. Got a guy on first. Now you got to concentrate on the next guy. Try to get a ground ball double play. Concentrate on the hitter. Forget what you just did wrong. 4 straight balls. Part of your warm-up.
Here's the rookie, Fernando Martinez. And another example. This guy's had 30 major league at-bats. Ball 5.
Well, if he throws another one, I think that Steve McCaddy will come out and have a few choice words for Mr. Stammen.
That one's in there. A good fastball.
And I've said this before for the last 2 months, that sometimes you come out of your warm-up, you're not loose. It might take you an inning or 2. So you don't know how Craig Stammen's feeling at this point.
Runner goes and then stops. That ball really hit hard to center. That's going to hit at the base of the wall. Alex Cora will score easily. Pitcher's in behind her. Nick Johnson behind the runner, and they almost had him at second base. So the Mets are on the board already. Good alert play by Nick, trailing the runner to second base. And for Martinez, his 5th major league RBI.
Well, obviously, when you know a guy's struggling with his command, you're going to stand up there and wait for him to throw one down Broadway, and he got his pitch, unloaded on it, showed his power. 20-year-old can hit the ball a little bit. Still didn't hit it out of the park, though.
Boy, and if there hadn't been a double pump on that relay throw, they would have had him at second. Here's Beltran hitting .346, 3rd best in the league.
I give Nick a lot of credit, though, for backing up on the play. You never know when you might be needed, and right there, he almost got an out at second.
Well, once the final runner passes your bag, nothing else can happen there. And Stammen's falling behind another hitter. Now the problem is the 2 guys that you'd hope to retire to start the ball game have both been aboard. Now you're dealing with 2 great hitters.
They still got first base open right here, even though there's no outs. You don't want to just throw a meat pitch here for Beltran to hit out of the park.
He's done it only 7 times this year. The Mets have only hit 34 home runs, 3rd from the bottom in the league. That ball will be pulled to the right side for Hernandez. Runner to 3rd, 1 out. Carlos Beltran is 1 for 9 in this series. He'll get a little high five from Daniel Murphy for moving that runner over. And he's in scoring position. Martinez is for David Wright. Going to have another big crowd here. Lots of folks still coming down from the Navy Yard station. And David Wright fouls one into the Mets dugout. In this series, David Wright's been nearly unstoppable. 5 out of 7, 2 RBIs. And over his last 3 games, he's 7 for 10, lifting his average up to .340. That's 5th best in the National League. But not any power to speak of. All right, there's a fastball up and in, 2-1. Let's see what Craig does to follow it up. Breaking ball, 3-1.
That breaking ball didn't have much on it, though. I mean, you got to throw it hard. Can't try to place it out on the outside corner. You got to let it go and follow through, and the grip will make it break.
And David Wright walks. Sixteen pitches already, 1 out. Runners at the corners. Nothing a ground ball right at an infielder wouldn't solve. It's Daniel Murphy, who's 0 for 5 with a walk this weekend.
Well, there's a much better fastball there, 90. Just got to let it go. As I said before, maybe he had a lousy warm-up. Looks a little bit tentative like he did. His first start, he was amazing. Second start up at Citi Field against this team, this is what he was doing. He was trying to just pick the corners and being way too careful.
Yeah, he threw 95 pitches in 5 innings.
I mean, he's throwing every pitch in his repertoire right here to try to get it out. You know what? Go back to basics. Throw some fastballs for strikes. See if you can get this guy to hit the ball on the ground, instead of trying to throw a curveball and then a changeup and then a fastball.
That'll be out of play. A loud strike 2 off the bat of Murphy.
I mean, you don't even do that when you're warming up. You'll throw 5 fastballs in a row. You'll throw like 3 breaking balls in a row, maybe 3 changeups in a row. But when you're going back and forth, you're changing the grip. You're changing your thought process. You know, well, I got to have good arm speed on my changeup. Just go after these guys. The first inning. Got a long day ahead of you. Oh boy.
Hitter helped, but on a 2-strike count, hitters will expand their zones. The Mets are hitting .276. Only the Dodgers are higher than them at .281.
Northrop Grumman, great location on that. It's a running 91-mile-an-hour fastball. He let it go. Attacking him with fastballs right now. Don't throw this guy an off-speed pitch. He hasn't gotten around on one of your fastballs.
Runner going at first. Ball gets away. 2-0. Ball 2.
See, that's once again, I don't understand this thought process. When the guy hasn't done anything to prove he can hit your fastball, you throw him an 82-mile-an-hour breaking ball in the dirt by your catcher. There's no reason for that.
They give a stolen base to David Wright, who is running on the pitch. Wild pitch scores the runner from third. And now a base hit to left by Daniel Murphy. David Wright coming home. 3-0 Mets.
Yeah, Steve's going to come out now and talk to him. Now, you threw 4 pitches right there on fastballs and only 1 breaking ball. Daniel Murphy doesn't have to be a rocket scientist to stick the bat out and hit it into left field.
2 walks, 2 hits, a wild pitch.
I think you could tell by the tone by Steve McCaddy. He's saying, what are you doing? Forget you got a ball game today? Let's go. Gonna turn the attack mode back on.
22 pitches and 1 out now. And here's Ryan Church, who makes his return back to the lineup. He went on the DL May 23rd with a right hamstring pull. Church had been hitting well for the Mets, 10 hits in his last 12 at bats, or at least, pardon me, hitting safely in 10 of 12 games at that time, and raising his average up to .272. (2-0) to another hitter.
Well, I'll tell you, better start pitching like your job depends upon it. Didn't we see last night Colin Bannister or Ballister throwing the heck out of the ball down on the farm?
He's been very good down there, and the bullpen is starting to throw. That ball hit to the scoreboard. Right off the center of it. Murphy to third will be held by Razor Shines. And the Mets are just teeing off here.
Well, the bullpen's already going right now.
So these teams are trading 3-run first innings to this point last night and tonight.
Well, Ryan Church gets a fastball, and anything down low to a left-handed hitter is dangerous, especially if it's got too much of the plate, and he just jacks it off the wall in right center field.
And now Brian Schneider. Manny Acta has to bring the infield in. Schneider at 207. 1 for 2 before the Mets hit for him on Friday night. And he lines it right field. Austin Kearns, he only has 1 throw, and that's to second base. And it's 4-0. Schneider's 5th RBI of the year. And Wilson Valdez will be the 8th Met to bat in the first inning.
Well, you fall behind 1-0 right here to another hitter. You have to come in with a fastball, and Schneider just sits back, and he'll take the RBI fly ball to right there. Austin Kearns had no real play. There's Jason Bergman, who has started in major leagues and has been doing a great job out of the bullpen, but sure, he didn't think he'd be warming up in the first inning of this ball game today.
Another wild pitch, 5-0. And the fans, some of them who had such a great time at the ballpark last night, are booing hours later.
Well, because it just seems like he's throwing here. He's not really pitching. He must not be loose or something, because he's just overthrowing his breaking balls into the ground. It's unfortunate because, you know, 4 starts ago he just looked so sharp. Now it looks like he doesn't want to throw it anywhere near the plate. You can't do it like that at this level. You're going to see Livan Hernandez come out here with much less stuff than this, and he's just going to be pitching because he has to. He knows he has to pitch to get people out. Can't muscle it up and throw it by him, and that's what Craig Stammen's got to do. But he's still got to get first pitch strikes in there to get to all of his other pitches,
which John Lannon did on 21 of 30 hitters last night. Looked like a changeup, and 8 Mets bat. 5 of them score on only 3 hits. '65, 4th in the league, 6th in runs and 3rd in home runs. Adam Dunn got number 17 last night. He's on a pace for 50. He's driven in 44 runs, so he's on a pace for 132 RBIs as well. Big presence in the middle of that lineup. And here's Livan Hernandez, 9-5 career against Montreal and Washington. 15 starts. He's beaten the Nationals 6 times in a row. Now, some of that goes back to the days before he was with Montreal. So some of that's against the Expos and some against the Nats. But Rob, you put it greatly. He doesn't have nearly the stuff of a young Craig Stammen, but he knows how to throw strikes, use all those different quadrants of the strike zone. And here's Guzman, 3 for 8 with a walk in the series, strike 1.
Boy, he just pounded the strike zone there with an 82-mile-an-hour fastball. Been waiting 15 minutes. That half inning was about 15 minutes long. So Livan had finished his warm-up, sat there and watched all that happen.
Second baseman Alex Cora, 1 out.
Let's go to the PNC Bank scouting report. Welcome to Slowville. Get ready. This guy's going to slow it down, throw about 86 back to 63 and back up to 86. Be patient. Don't let him throw you pitches that he wants you to swing at and ground into the ground. And approach this guy like a knuckleballer. You've got time to sit there and make a little millisecond adjustment. Keep your hands back and put the ball in play to the opposite field.
Nick Johnson on base 4 times in this series with 3 hits, a walk. One of those hits a home run last night. And Nick's had 17 multi-hit games now. Batting average of .332 is 8th in the league. He's in the top 5 of those guys who get on base a lot. .434 his on-base percentage.
Well, you want to talk pitching. This is pitching. Going out there with very little in your arsenal. Last time he faced this team through a complete game, and this is a very good offensive team. And that's what he has to do to get you out. Pitch. He'll change eye level, speeds, make you think that it's a meat pitch coming in, but he'll turn it over or throw a 2-seamer that's going downward. And you'll hit just weak ground balls all day.
2-2. Livan Hernandez 151 career wins, but he's only 11 games over 500.
Here's Livan's delivery, Bob. Doesn't have to do a whole lot, more like a knuckleballer. Nice balance. Everything's coming towards the hitters. He's way over on the first base side, so it almost looks like he's throwing right at Nick. And then he's going to try to run the ball away from him, so Nick will try to pull it onto the ground.
There's a ball pulled, but it's hooking before it gets where it needs to go.
Well, Nick's feeling pretty good right now, swinging the bat as well as we've seen him. And now he starts pulling the ball, and he just hits it right out of the park.
Yeah, going the other way and getting hits sure makes you a better hitter when they try to pound you inside because you open up and there it goes.
Yep. He's wide open right now, waiting for him to try to get it in there.
Time given by Darryl Cousins.
Well, and one thing I've talked a lot about with Ron Balone is he likes to keep the pace of the game his way, and that's what Livan does.
High in the zone, a late breaker, and Livan with his first strikeout today.
It's going to make it a little more interesting if Livan gets some of these calls. Northrop Grumman right here. It's a high late break on that pitch. But he needs some help from the umpire sometimes, and he gets it right there.
Northrop Grumman, the information systems powerhouse. Ryan Zimmerman in the series, 2 for 7 with a walk. RBI last night, got the Nats going in the first.
Well, that's 3 first pitch strikes already in this game for Livan.
And a fly ball to right for Ryan Church. Mets have a great first inning in more ways than one, leading 5-0. Diaz to lead off for the Mets, who lead by 5. A total different start to this game. And then the great out of the gate performance we saw from John Lannon last night, not afraid to have guys hit the ball. And then he had a base hit.
Well, it's fun when you're pitching well, you're getting some early offense, getting some great defense, turning double plays. And this is an exact 180 of what we witnessed last night.
18 ground ball outs last night by John Lannon.
But John, just like Craig Stammen, doesn't have overpowering stuff. He cannot dominate you with just like a fastball like a Randy Johnson in his heyday. So you have to have control like Livan Hernandez, who came out in this game after a 15-minute wait, sitting on the bench, threw 8 out of 11 strikes, 3 first pitch strikes, and didn't throw harder than 85 miles an hour.
Guzman upstairs to get it. Livan's a good hitter. 229 career with 9 career home runs. And he's probably just as happy to not be on base right there.
This is Christian Guzman. Great vertical right there. Well, at least 13 inches off the ground. Kidding. Maybe it was 15.
You know, the danger that infielders will tell you about that play is jumping too early.
Agreed.
The ball's not hit as hard as you think it was, and you're on your way down when it gets there.
It almost looks like that. A little extra reach there. He's probably thinking, I wish I was 6 inches taller. Cal Ripken Jr. A-Rod. He was playing short. He was a lot bigger than I thought until I stood next to him years ago. It was Mike Lowell with the Red Sox. He is a big kid. Man, I was like, on TV, he looked about 6 foot tall. In person, he's like 6'5".
We get to stand next to him again in a couple of weeks.
Yes, we will. The Red Sox coming here. We go to Yankee Stadium. Where are we going? Tampa next?
Tampa, Yankee Stadium. Then the Blue Jays and Red Sox follow on that homestand.
Not that I'm sure our hitters want to see him, but I'd like to see Roy Halladay.
Pop fly left field. Long run for Adam Dunn. He's cruising to it. 2 outs. Manny said yesterday, the thing about Adam Dunn as an outfielder, once he gets his momentum going, he has good speed for a man his size, but it just takes him a while. And on some of those line drives right at him or right back over his head, that's the ones, or those are the ones that he has a problem with.
Kind of like a Clydesdale.
But if that ball hangs up there for a while, he'll get to it like that one with plenty to spare. Yeah, he could pull a beer truck if he had to, I'm sure. Or a beer wagon.
There's one big human.
Here's Fernando Martinez, who really got the Mets going with that double to the center field wall after the Cora walk last inning. This kid now has 5 RBIs in his first 31 major league at bats.
I was talking to Adam the other day in the clubhouse, and we're talking politics. And he's just got 2 huge cheeseburgers and some ketchup, and he's just sitting there quietly eating while he's having this conversation with me. He's fascinating. He's a great kid.
To Hopper, right at Hernandez. Stammen battles back with a 1-2-3 top of the second. Adam Dunn went deep for the 17th time this year last night. Elijah Dukes and Austin Kearns to follow, the big left-handed slugger. on the field so far, but a long way to go for the Nats to get back into this one. And Livan Hernandez does have a 4.33 ERA.
Got 24 outs to work with.
Yeah,
that's the way you got to look at it right now. Got 8 innings to get 5 up on the board and keep them where they are.
31,500 here last night, and a crowd probably
reaching that level right now.
That or bigger today. Yeah,
they're still coming.
Adam Dunn 1 for 6 in the series with that 2-run homer, but a couple of walks as well, and he's walked 43 times this year. Right after Zimmerman drove in a run, first pitch fastball by now.
You saw the setup right there too. Catcher wanted it in. There's a running fastball that came back across the outside part of the plate. Never let that big guy get his arms extended. It's all hitters talk about after they hit home runs. Extension. I got full extension.
And
well,
that was
you don't want to let him get extension.
That was an easy looking swing too. Then a 1-2 pitch outside. Livan just shows him the fastball.
Teases. He's teasing him with. He's not going to let him see a fastball in the hit.
Adam Dunn now is 5 home runs away from 300.
See how low he goes to on Adam Dunn? That was 87. He even raised the velocity up. Tried to sneak a fastball by him, but down low, so that Adam tries to pull that. It's a ground ball.
3-2. That's a breaking ball in on his hands. It slams off the tarp.
Now you saw him hit that ball foul. That's all he can do where that ball's thrown. That's great location. He threw the breaking ball in right near his waist or his thighs. Adam turns on it. All he can do is hit it foul. You can't put that ball in play.
3-2 again. Adam Dunn hits it hard to right, but right at Ryan Church. 4 straight to start the game for Livan. Mike Rizzo will join Debbie next inning. The draft is coming up Tuesday, and at number 37, Steven Strasburg will be number 1, everybody feels. What do you see about his delivery, Rob, that you could talk about here?
Nothing. He's in college. You know, until he gets up here, you know, he's got great stuff for college. But as David Price has already found out, or Phil Hughes, that this is another level of ball. So if Scott Boras doesn't do some stupid stuff and keep this kid from going into pro ball, we'll see him here in a little bit. See if he's as good as everybody says.
Here's Elijah Dukes.
But he's got nice smooth delivery. The thing I do like, Bob, you got a great slider. Or he throws sliders for strikes and out pitches. There's anybody up here can hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
I got a question to ask you about last year's Nationals draftee, Aaron Crow. He obviously goes back into the draft after pretty much being off for a year. Does he have any bargaining power with whatever club takes him? Because
zero.
He's not going to sit out another year.
He sat out a year, and this is what I would do to Scott Boras. I'd say, listen, we offered you X amount of dollars last year. Here's 50% of that. Take it or leave it. What are you going to have your client sit out another season? You know, that's worthless to the client. So I think he's got no bargaining power.
That's going to be one of the most interesting things to watch in the draft on Tuesday. Where Aaron Crow goes, who he's drafted by, and then how things proceed from there.
I think what you do to Scott Boras is you take a look at every one of his first-round picks over the last 15 years. I mean, even go back to Brian Taylor and some of those players. How many of those guys actually turned out to be good?
Not many.
Not many. So why are we paying you $6, $10, whatever $1 million for these guys? They're not that good. They're college. They're overhyped kids. Until they get up here, they don't really mean much to me. You know, everybody's like, wow, this Strasburg. Unless Strasburg can play every position out here or hit and do everything on the field, he's not going to turn this organization around. Only the guys down there on the field today can turn this around.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Elijah Dukes.
And you
goes with the fastball.
Daisuke Matsuzaka was worth $100 million, $50 million to sit down to lunch and then negotiate another $50 million. That guy's not worth $50 million bucks. He can't even complete games. That was the big hype about him. Oh, he could throw all day. I think he's got one complete game in 3 years. He was pitching once every 7 days in Japan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't believe the hype.
Well, and part of that hype is outdoing the Yankees. The Yankees and Red Sox have been overpaying for players against each other for decades. Dukes will hit one hard. Heading for the scoreboard. Will it plug the gap? No. Beltran just cruises over, making that look easy.
Yeah, Levon got in on his hands a little bit there.
Yeah, that ball didn't have the carry on it we thought it had off the bat.
He didn't get the sweet spot of the bat. But getting back to Strasburg, you know, if he's as great as they say he is, how many innings has he thrown this year? 130? He's not ready to pitch in the big leagues. Maybe out of the bullpen. When David Price of the Rays last year came up, helped them out in the bullpen, everybody's like, well, let him start the season in the big leagues. He went down. He was having trouble throwing 85 pitches every start. He comes up here. He hasn't shown that he's some superstar pitcher. It's not that easy. If it were, you'd be taking every kid out of college and throwing them right into the big leagues. Very few come out of Division I baseball, go right to the major leagues.
Yeah. 1-1 to Austin Kearns. I did some research today and didn't like what I found. Austin, though, has had great success against Levon. Austin Kearns' last RBI was 1 month ago today. On May 7th, he had a 2-run pinch hit single. And he's been sitting on 15 for a month.
I'll give you an example of overhype. Phil Hughes, Ian Kennedy last year went 0-8. Okay? They didn't trade either one of those gentlemen for Johan Santana, and they had a chance to. They could have traded them and Melky Cabrera, a couple other prospects. They would have had Johan Santana from the Twins. They chose to keep those two guys because somebody overevaluated them. Phil Hughes this week was put in the bullpen, and Chen-Ming Wong was inserted back into the rotation. So until you prove it up here, and I have a 3-year rule, until you're good for 3 years up here, I don't really need to talk about you.
3-2 to Kearns. Well, baseball drafting, there's no doubt about it, the most inexact science in sport.
Look at the NFL. How many of those first-round picks ever really play in the NFL? But every year it's, hey, let's go to the combine. Let's see how great these guys are. Yeah, you know, that guy looks good in the airport. But how many times does the guy do well on the field?
So Kearns draws a 2-out walk. Levon Hernandez has gone to a full count, all 3 hitters in this inning. Josh Bard will be next.
You know, now you got some 16 or 15-year-old kid from Vegas saying, I'm going to be in Cooperstown someday. Dude, you haven't even gotten out of high school yet.
Yeah. Well, they do book a lot of tours there.
Yeah, I said, where's the high school wing in Cooperstown? Please.
Yeah, and a certain national magazine all over that story. Josh Bard 1 for 4 in this series. 6 of his 12 hits this year have gone for extra bases. 5 doubles and a home run.
I had a guy call my radio show the other day, and he was the general manager, assistant general manager of a AA team that I played against in the Eastern League. And he didn't even have me as a prospect in '86. He's like, Jeff Gray and Danny Smith were your 2 top prospects. You weren't even a prospect. You know, who I had on that team? I had Norm Charlton on that team with myself. Joe Oliver was on that team. Danny Smith never made it to the major leagues, and Jeff Gray didn't really do much at the major league level. I don't think Baseball America ever had me as a prospect. I don't buy into all that hype. Got to prove it up here.
2-0 to Josh Bard. Austin Kearns aboard, 2 outs, bottom of the 2nd. And Levon's gone to nibbling in this inning. He's not pitching like he has a 5-run lead right now. And this is the bottom of the order. If he moves Kearns to second, he's taking a chance on a contact hitter, Anderson Hernandez, lining a ball into a gap or down a line somewhere.
These are the kind of guys, though, that make Levon nervous because they're a little bit more patient. Sometimes they're late on pitches when they're hitting them. Go the other way well. It's the power guys he has such great success against.
Now he comes back and makes it 3-2.
And I've told you that. Hitters want to hit. You know, they take all this batting practice. They do all that kind of stuff. They want to hit. They hate guys like Livan Hernandez. They want to see 95. They don't want to see 81 over here and 82 over there. And
a runner going, and it's 2 on, 2 out. We've been telling you all week about the Grand Slam Flex plan. Pick 4 games, you get 1 free. 5 plans to choose from. Pick your plan, your games, your seats. Get a free game. It's that easy. 202-675-NATS or visit nationals.com/Grand Slam. And those plans include a game when the Red Sox come to town. So time is of the essence. Boston here on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, June 23, 24, 25, right after the Blue Jays are in for the previous weekend. Well, the Nats need a 2-out knock to get on the board here.
Well, I think Brian Schneider went out and said, dude, you got the first 2 big guns out of there, Dukes and Dunn. What are you doing with these guys? You know, you got 2 quick outs and now you're nibbling.
Anderson Hernandez 0 for 8 in the series. And that ball came up and got him.
Bit him. Well, that's exactly what Livan wants you to do, though. He tried to pull that slow outside soft stuff, and he would have hit a ground ball if it was in play. Look at that. Little sinking changeup.
Last time the Nationals played the Mets, Anderson Hernandez was 1 for 5 with a couple of walks. The thing you don't want a young guy doing is pressing too hard against a former ball club. Just do what you do best. Livan has him 0-2. I don't think he's thrown a fastball for a strike. He'll show it to you.
Oh, he'll tease the heck out of you.
He goes upstairs and strikes out Hernandez. Nationals leave 2. Debbie Taylor chats with GM Mike Rizzo when we come back with the draft coming up 2 days from now.
The Major League Baseball draft is on Tuesday, and we are joined by acting general manager Mike Rizzo for a little bit of a preview. And Mike, I have to ask you, how good is the talent pool this year?
I would say it's probably an average pool. The upper portion of the draft separates itself from the bottom portion pretty greatly this year.
This year you have 2 picks in the top 10, which is the first time in baseball history. How confident are you that you can sign those 2 picks?
Well, we're going to negotiate, very hard and take the right people, and I think we're pretty confident that the Lerners have given us the resources to sign not only those picks but the rest of the picks we have throughout the draft.
Mike, what would it mean to you and the organization to be able to select and sign and develop Stephen Strasburg?
Well, he's a really fine college pitcher right now. We'd like to draft him and get him in here as soon as we can if we decide that's the route we're going to go. And his development process it'll kind of take a life of its own, and we'll see where he belongs within the farm system of the Nationals, and kind of that'll dictate where when he gets to the major leagues.
Is there a chance, though, that he could get a cup of coffee maybe in September or maybe even earlier and help out? Maybe not from a starting standpoint, but perhaps a bullpen situation?
Well, I mean, that's, we're talking way ahead of ourselves there. But, the draft is Tuesday. We'll see what happens there. And it's a very short list of people who have done that. So, I'm not sure where we're at with that.
A.J. Pollock was here. He's a center fielder from Notre Dame, and he got a chance to spend some time with you and with Manny and some of the coaches here. How key is that for you to get to know these guys at that level?
Well, that's really the reason that we bring him in here is we've scouted the player in competition for a long period of time, but we also like to bring him in, see how they interact with the players and the team, the management, and just to see what kind of people they are beyond the field.
And they also get a chance to learn more about you and the organization. And AJ's dad told me he was so impressed with the way that you treated him.
Well, we invite these people in here, and they take the time from their busy schedules at this time of year to come and visit us. And we want to put our best foot forward, and with the good people we have here, and kind of showcase and show off what we have to offer here. And we like to make a good impression on these young men.
Mike, before I let you go, I have to ask you about the scouts that have been spending time down in the war room out here on the field watching these guys. I mean, are they your MVP this week?
Oh, there's no doubt. They work extremely hard throughout the year. It culminates, on Tuesday, but it's a 12-month grind for them, and they certainly don't get enough credit, for the job that they do. Let's face it, there's not one person in the major leagues that would be here without some scout recognizing their abilities and doing driving the miles and doing the work to sign them and develop them through the systems.
Okay, well said. Mike Rizzo, thank you for spending some time with us. Bob?
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Mike, and best of luck to Mike and his staff on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday. It'll all get going. And the Major League Baseball draft is becoming a more attractive event for live television now than it ever has.
Yes and no. I still think it's overhyped. I think a lot of these prospects are overhyped. It's very difficult to tell and be able to project a kid 2-3 years down the road and say, I think that's what Mike hit upon at the end. The evaluators, the scouts do such an amazing job, Bob, to project someone to the big leagues 3-4 years from now. I mean, Strasburg's thrown 106 pitches. That's half a season at this level. 106 innings, excuse me. And, David Price, when he was drafted by the Rays, 133. How can you say that guy's ready for the big leagues? There's no way you can say that. You're talking guys, hitting with aluminum bats. It's very hard to evaluate those guys. I'd much rather go to the Cape Cod League and see the guys using wood bats. I think that's an easier way to evaluate whether or not a guy can project to the big leagues in 3 years down the road.
Mm-hmm. Stammen gives up his first base hit since Ryan Church, who now steps in, was batting back in the first inning. He had retired 7 straight. Church lined one off the scoreboard to set up a scenario where 2 runs would score on wild pitches. And the Mets had their 5-run first inning. They've out hit the Nats 4-0. Ryan Braun and Chipper Jones have traded home runs down in Atlanta, and the Brewers and the Braves are tied at 2.
I think that Scott Boras and a lot of these agents do a disservice to the game by getting so much money for these guys that have never thrown or done anything at the major league level. Where's the motivation, Bob, like when I was coming up, to get to the major leagues if you signed for $10 million.
Yeah. Elijah Dukes, boy, Ryan Church comes off the DL. He's had a couple of great swings today. Mets strand their first runner. It stays 5-0. Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. Rob and I tried to get on that thing, but they told us we were too old and too big.
Yeah.
Little League Day here.
Too fat. You'll break it. There's a maximum weight.
Kids are having a great time at the ballpark today. Thousands of little leaguers, baseball and softball, are here today.
And I was down there in the dugout. That was the coolest thing, because all the little kids, they're taking pictures in front of the Nationals dugout, but they're pointing at the bats that were in the bat rack and the helmets. That's Ryan Zimmerman's. That's Adam Dunn's.
Nice.
That's what you want. You want these kids dreaming about playing up here.
Yeah, you never know when walking around that field for 10 minutes might change a young life. Of course, there's always the ice cream, too.
I like the ice cream.
I was laughing at your story this morning about your brother taking his little guy to the ball game, and it was all about the treats, and he's a little hyperactive to begin with. He got him cotton candy.
Yep, cotton candy and ice cream, and I'm sure that was an enjoyable 2-hour ride home, too.
Stammen, and that'll be a fair ball. Levon throws him out. Next Saturday, the Nats are at Tampa Bay for the second game of a 3-game series. Now, the D-Rays, like any home team, can start a ball game whenever they want. They're starting at 6:08. We cannot come on the air until 7:05 because of the national blackout television window on Saturday. So we'll join you in progress at 7:05. You can keep up to date with the game at massinsports.com. Live game blogs and stats prior to our joining you at 7:05. And of course, after the ball game, all the usual Nats Extra menu with Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight, including Manny's post-game thoughts. That'll be next Saturday when the Nats play the second of 3 down at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. And the Nats finally have a base hit. Christian Guzman lines it hard up the middle. And Guzman's 4 for 10 in this series. His bat is coming back. A lot of people ask me, what time does that game start in Tampa? I said, I don't know. We're in St. Pete. They're the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, but the stadium is in downtown St. Petersburg.
Yes, it is. All the way at the end of the causeway. Well,
they did a rush job on a stadium there back in the early 90s because the Chicago White Sox were about to leave Chicago. And the Illinois legislature rescued them at the 11th hour with a stadium deal. And that's when the new Comiskey Park opened up and St. Petersburg was denied a team.
How about the Giants were going to move there?
They were.
And MLB said no. You're staying in San Francisco.
Yeah, they didn't want a team going completely cross country. That would have really changed the divisional setup. course, you used to play in the National League West in Cincinnati.
Yes, I did.
And so did Atlanta.
And so did Atlanta. And our foes and our enemies were the Dodgers and the Padres and the Giants and the Braves.
Well, the beer barons in St. Louis and the newspaper barons in Chicago kept that from happening.
There you go.
They wanted the Cubs and the Cardinals to go west. But they said, we're not going to be starting our television games at 9 and 10 o'clock at night. And by the way, you like that beer sponsorship we purchased last year?
Yes, I do. That was fantastic. So that's my favorite.
Anyway, that's how that whole thing went. So they've had an interesting history of almost getting teams and then finally getting one down in St. Pete. Look at Nick. He's just all over the stat sheet. That ball driven to left center, but it's hanging up. Beltran will run it down. Backhand play on the track. 2 outs. That Carlos Beltran covers some serious ground out there. And then they've got the rookie next to him, Fernando Martinez. So it'll be hard to gap one unless you hit a low line drive today. And here's Ryan Zimmerman.
One thing I love about Nick Johnson, though, he never overswings. It was that one swing, I think, 2 or 3 games ago, where he really took a hack.
Yeah, it was like 3-1.
Right. Yeah. He just said, I'm just going to swing. And then he hit the next pitch for a home run. But he usually just takes his regular swing. Most home run hitters will tell you they're just trying to hit line drives or hit the ball hard, and it just takes off. Try to uppercut, the ball's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's because you get the sweet spot. Zimmerman to center. That's off the end of the bat. Beltran racing in. He makes center field look easy sometimes. Nats have stranded 3. Mets lead after 3 by 5. Alcoholic drink and chips minimum, because it is a family, 2 tickets per purchase. Bring them out for pregame autographs. Postgame, kids run the bases. 888-632-NETS. Get your red on here for Sundays. The next one will be 2 weeks from today when the Toronto Blue Jays are here. Top of the 4th, Brian Schneider against Craig Stammen, ball 1.
I just want to say Livan Hernandez once again has faced 12 hitters in 3 innings, thrown 9 first pitch strikes.
And now here's a pitcher against a batter with no home runs, 2-0, batting 7th. And as Rob often says, there's a reason guys are batting 7th and 8th. Schneider tries to pull that ball, and Hernandez throws him out.
Well, 2-0 pitch, and he pulled it on the ground to second base.
Nine of the last 10 retired now by Craig Stammen. So he's settling in.
Well, I've said it many times. First, fifth, and ninth. 3 hardest innings for a pitcher.
Why the fifth?
That's when you're eligible to get the win.
Okay, and then also maybe third time around the batting order in some cases?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think you're also, as you come out of the dugout, you're like, okay, a 2-run lead. I need 3 outs right here. You start, talking to yourself on the mound. Don't screw up right here.
Yeah.
Don't get behind this guy, and then all of a sudden you're 2-0.
Sounds like negative thoughts to me.
Yep. And the first inning, obviously, warming up is the toughest part, I think, is starting. That's why, thank goodness, they made me a reliever. Because you can leave a lot down in the bullpen. You can throw too many pitches. You can have a day where you're like, I don't think any of my pitches are working. That's usually when you throw a shutout.
Yeah. But that thought process is fascinating. It's like when you're standing on the tee of a par 3 and you say, water on the left, don't hit it over there. 12 seconds later, kerplunk.
Yep.
He's throwing well now. 1-2 to Wilson Valdez, the shortstop. Struck him out first time. Grounds him out this time, and Zimmerman takes care of that. And now it's the pitcher, Livan Hernandez, coming up.
The umpire's saying something to him. I think he's checking the ball. Or maybe the way he's going to his face on the mound.
I saw Daryl Cousins come out and say something similar to Livan before he even threw a warm-up pitch in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, it's a little warm. They're sweating, so they're trying to get the sweat off their brow and stuff. You can't go to your face or your mouth on the rubber and then go to the ball. You got to wipe it off. So he might have gone to his mouth, and he's just saying, listen. But I like what he's doing. He, instead of calling a balk or,
ball one,
he goes out there, and he's helping the kid try to learn.
Austin Kearns had designs on throwing Livan out at first base.
And I've told you that story before. Doug Harvey, the wonderful umpire, my first year in the big leagues was like, listen, you're balking every time. And I'm like, really? It's like, yeah, you keep moving your glove like you're going to come to the set position, but you're just tapping your leg. And so, sometimes you have to teach these young kids that they're doing something wrong instead of just, hey, balk. Well, why? He's giving them a chance to not do it again.
Yeah. How to play off the bat of Alex Cora, who's walked, scored, and flied out.
Mine was kind of subconscious. I didn't even know I was doing it. And almost every time I would see Mr. Harvey, he'd go, did you stop tapping your leg? I'm like, yeah.
Well, when God talks.
Yeah, I know.
That's what his nickname was.
And he is still ranked one of the top 3 umpires of all time. He was fantastic.
Yeah. I'll never forget that funny story about Lenny Dykstra sliding into third, and Doug Harvey called him safe. And Lenny looked up and said, thanks, God. He was one of the best ever.
Yep.
That's in there, 1-2.
And he can almost read your mind, though. Sometimes you just miss a pitch, and you kind of glare in there, but you wouldn't say anything, and you wouldn't even mouth anything. You go, you missed it by that much, and because he knew what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Damn, that guy's good.
Swing and a miss, and the 4th is over. So Stammen is now retired. 11 of the last 13 Mets. He needs his teammates now to start generating some offense.
George W. won.
George has always been #1 in this town.
Yep, Mr. Washington.
You know, the thing about George that impresses you, he continues to race well even after the cherry blossoms are gone. There they are.
He didn't like the cherry blossoms. He didn't try to cut down the cherry tree.
I don't know. Urban legend.
Urban legend.
Here's Adam Dunn. Shift is on. Levon off speed outside. The Nationals 1 hit in 3 innings. Guzman's 1-out single in the 3rd. Adam Dunn lines one right center. That ball will fall. He's hit 2 line drives today. Lined out hard to Church last time.
Well, once again, pitch location. You saw the catcher way outside. Ball runs across the plate and then runs across the fence.
When Elijah hits them, not usually a doubt. Once in a while he'll hit a low line drive that'll go crashing toward the fence, but he got all of that baby. Flight out to center first time today. Levon's given up 7 home runs this year in 63 innings.
Another first pitch strike and then some doo-doo down low. I mean, it's, I'll tease you. I don't know what we're waiting for, because once you let him get 1 strike on you, you're in trouble.
He had Duke swinging one-handed at the tail end of that hack.
Well, I think it was the 3rd time through our batting order when he started dropping 63 and 64 mile-an-hour curveballs on us last time.
Yeah, we haven't seen that one yet.
No, he's saving that for later. That's some dessert for us.
Even better off the stretch, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Maybe more apt to challenge when the bases are empty. And Dukes, he'll break his bat. And that ball's caught by Ryan Church. Kearns and Bard, the next 2 Nats hitters here in the bottom of the 4th.
Here's the Exmo on Mr. Dukes. You see him hitting the pitch that Levon wants him to hit. Way outside, breaks his bat. Just shatters it off the end.
Well, those bats, they break bottom of the barrel, middle of the barrel, handle.
Are they made out of plastic? I've never seen so many bats just exploding.
Well, when they pitch Kearns in there and get a strike, he's got a problem. They go right in under his hands. Austin did walk his first time up. He's having what you would call a very unusual year. He's hitting 220, pardon me. Trying to read my own writing here. But he's been on base 29 of the 31 games he has started. He's drawn 23 walks this year, and he'll get hit by a pitch occasionally. But it's 0-2 here. He's just not getting hits. And as I mentioned, a month now without an RBI. Saw Josh Willingham on the field earlier this afternoon doing some running drills. That's a very late hack by Kearns, and you'll often see his left hand fly off the bottom of the bat. 2 outs, and for Levon Hernandez, his 3rd strikeout.
Northrop Grumman here on the pitch track.
And my point about Willingham is Josh was really warming it up with the bat. He had 2 solo homers at Philadelphia last week, and then he got sick with that viral infection that has just taken away the strength out of his muscles all week. When he's back, Austin Kearns is going to have to fight for something other than late game defense playing time. Josh Bard walked first time today.
One of the biggest problems for Austin right now that he faces, everybody's got an idea of how to fix what's wrong. There's too many guys up inside his head. He's just got to get everybody out of there, go back to what got him to the major leagues, see the ball and just swing at it. And everybody will be like, well, do this and do that. And I mean, everybody's got a way to fix you except you.
Yeah. The only other National League East team in action right now is Atlanta. And the Brewers just scored a run in the top of the 5th inning to take a 3-2 lead down there. Jesus Colome is working. Craig Stammen has sort of rescued his day. But if Bard and Hernandez get on, they've got a hit for him. Stammen, after throwing 32 pitches in the first inning, has pitched the next 3 innings in 40 pitches. So he's at 72 with 40 strikes. Walked him. Bard aboard again. 2 on, 2 out. And another spot here for Anderson Hernandez, who struck out in this situation 2 innings ago.
That was a good at bat, though, by Josh Bard. He wasn't giving in to the tease pitches on the outer half. He just said, go ahead, you're going to walk me? I'll take a walk right here. You got to watch out for Levon, though. He may walk the number 8 guy to get to the pitcher.
Yeah, and then he'll be facing Willie Harris.
Well, and Anderson's got to be resilient right here. Just wait for your pitch. Hit it to left field. He's been doing a great job cutting down in that swing. And cheat up on the plate, cheat up in the box.
Well, the base hit here with 2 outs would make things interesting. Nats are down by 5. They've been out hit 5-2. And until Anderson Hernandez takes a ball to left field, Levon will keep doing that.
We saw Johnson to Johnson the other day. This is Hernandez to Hernandez. Wide open stance.
He's trying to shoot it down left field way. Pretty good in this situation in terms of the RBIs. 9 of his 14 batted in, but he's 0 for 9 in this series. When the Mets came to town Friday, Hernandez was batting .287. He's at .268. Drives it up the middle. Levon deflects it right to Alex Cora. And a 1-4-3 keeps the Nats off the board in the 4th inning. They strand 2. They've left 5. Good reaction by the wily old veteran, and he gets a perfect Stanley Cup deflection. Not too fun on the scoreboard. It's all Mets right now after 4. Now June 11th is Dollar Kids Day. The Reds are coming in. Get your red on, and you can bring up to 4 kids ages 2 to 12, and they get in for $1 with the purchase of 1 full-priced adult ticket. Now, you have to do that at the box office here at the ballpark, and children must be with you for that purchase. For more info on the Dollar Kids Day, 202-675-NATS. And again, box office only. Kids with you, up to 4 of them, for $1 with the purchase of a full price adult ticket.
Is it a full prize or a full price?
Full price.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I got a little lazy
for you to say.
Little lazy on my ad lib there. Here's Fernando Martinez. Somebody told me once it's a long season in a small booth.
Is that why you're taking a few days off next week?
No.
There's only so much I can take a dibble.
No, it's more of a family thing.
I know, you want to go see your kids.
My wife's birthday's today.
Well, happy birthday.
Gonna fly home and see Debbie and the girls tonight. 3 balls and a strike to Martinez, and he pops it to left. It's got some carry on it, but Dunn is under it. Adam on the track for the first out, 5th inning underway. Johnny Holliday will come and join Rob for the Cincinnati series. Byron Kerr will head out to left field to join Ray Knight on our Masson Nats Extra set. And then I'll rejoin everybody on Friday when we get down to Tropicana Field.
More cowbell.
Do they still have that guy who sits behind home plate with the loud voice and rags on every opposing player?
I don't know, but they have Hulk Hogan's buddy there that smashes a garbage can on his head in the middle of the game.
Oh,
fans going.
Well, that clinches it. I'm going. Gotta see that. What's better than that?
But the more cowbell. Those cowbells are so loud.
Beltran tried to ask for time, and Darryl Cousins didn't give it to him. And then the pitch was a ball anyway. The count was 0-2. And Beltran.
Well, just because you ask for time doesn't mean that the umpire has to grant it to you.
Well,
the pitcher's in his windup.
Yeah, the umpire can see where the pitcher is in his delivery. Beltran will foul it. But then Beltran did the right thing by staying in. Doesn't get it, so he pulls his bat back up.
Time, please. Can I have some? Are you going to give me some time? He's not happy.
And the umpire said, "Time won't let me." Good play by Hernandez. Quick on the hands. 2 outs. And Carlos Beltran, who's been exposed for not hustling twice in this series, was really getting down the line well on this one.
He's not happy either with the no time call. And then he wasted all that time for that swing. Lucky he didn't just keep running down the right field line and into the bullpen and out the back door.
Here's David Wright.
He's not had a great series so far. After saying how embarrassed the Mets should be about the Pirates series.
Yeah, he's 1 for 11 here. Without an RBI and 1 walk. David Wright's had a good series. 5 out of 8. 6 out of 9. Over to cut it off Dukes. Wright might be thinking about 2. He is. And a good throw would have had him, but that thing's 15 feet off line. David Wright was about to be thrown out on the bases for the 4th time in this series. He's a risk taker, this guy. The other thing is, Rob, he has 13 stolen bases, but he's been caught doing that 8 times.
Well, but you can't be out of control. But right here, he's going to challenge Elijah Dukes on the throw. He's watching it. Yeah, he's watching it the whole way, and he's going, okay, he's going to take his time getting to it. I'm going to challenge his arm. And I've said this so many times. Make the outfielders and the defense make a great play. And Elijah didn't make a great throw, and he's on second now. 2 outs.
Dukes, by the way, is second in outfield assists in the league with 6. That doesn't always mean you're the best outfielder. That can mean that people keep running on you, and you throw some of them out. Matt Kemp and Jay Bruce, Dodgers, Reds, respectively, with 7 to lead the league. You know, but that's like that Brad Hopp in Colorado. Nobody runs on him anymore. As soon as you establish, you know, Jeff Francoeur, who runs on him anymore? So those guys don't get a chance to lead the league in assists. Adam Dunn right there to catch the line drive. Good swing by Murphy. And the Mets are gone in the 5th inning. Halfway through the ball game, they're up 5. Nationals, they're down to the Mets 5-0, and we come back here. Craig Stammen has really turned his day around after that really difficult first inning.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. This is the second time he's faced this lineup, and it's his 4th major league start, so obviously they know what he's going to throw, and maybe that's why he was a little bit tentative the first time through the batting order. But he's settled down, he's settled in there, he's getting ahead now with some strikes, and now hopefully we can get him some offense and get back in the ballgame.
And on the other side, Levon being Levon.
Well, Levon changes speed so well. I mean, he's down 75, he's up to 86, he's just all over the place. He's teasing you. It's hard to believe he's thrown 46 strikes out there today, and 11 first pitch, 12 first pitch strikes to the hitters, but he does it, gets ahead, but then you never get another good pitch to swing at. So maybe we, the 3rd time through the order, start going up there thinking first pitch, swing away, try to get on base. Alberto Gonzalez is going to lead it off here. Stammen is done for the day.
After 5 innings, 4 of them real good. 1 of them really tough. Alberto Gonzalez getting few at bats these days. Now the Guzman's back healthy, but Alberto's done well for himself as a pinch hitter. 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs, and overall a .283 batting average. You have to have guys like this to get your number 9 spot and your defense through a season. The 2-1 pitch from Levon Hernandez, and Alberto with a good take.
It's hard for Alberto to get back in there when Christian starts swinging the bat. He came up here hitting the ball much better, shorten that swing.
Yeah. And he'll make Levon Hernandez throw at least 6 pitches in this at bat. Big Jack, a 3-2 pitch right up the middle. That's sweet. How about this guy? 4 for 4 as a pinch hitter this year.
Nice.
That's one of the toughest jobs in baseball.
Yes, it is. Stay ready. You never know when they're going to use you, and against this guy, seasoned veteran against a young kid, and the kid wins the battle. Nice job by Alberto. Now, way to start off the bottom of the 5th.
Well, that's similar to the ball Anderson Hernandez hit last inning. Levon turned a base hit into an out. Stammen 87 pitches, 49 strikes in his 5 innings. But against 23 hitters, only 10 first pitch strikes. Oh, that's a great play by Daniel Murphy. One of the toughest to turn, a 3-6-3 double play. I would venture to say Carlos Delgado does not make that play.
No, Carlos, I don't think has that type of arm or that type of glove. And you got an outfielder trying to transition over to first base. Murphy, great play to his right, going towards second base. But then he gets back and he covers his own position because Levon Hernandez didn't get over there. Thanks, Levon, for the help.
I gave him 2 stars on that play, one for the catch and one for the return catch. That was really good. Bases empty, 2 outs. Here's Nick.
Well, we played this kind of defense last night against them. They're returning the favor.
Yep. But Stammen gives up 5 runs on 6 hits in 5 innings, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He did retire 14 of the last 17 hitters. So something to take out of this start. But the problem was the first inning took him out of the game. One and one to Nick, trying to hit the ball to left field. Braves just scored 3 in the 5th to take a 5-3 lead over Milwaukee, and the Brewers have just come right back with 2 in the 6th. The other East teams, Florida at home later, and the Phillies tonight, the Sunday night game at Dodger Stadium. After 2 consecutive blown saves in the 9th inning by Brad Lidge. The Dodgers will be trying to win their 40th game of the year tonight. Nobody else in baseball has more than 33. Johnson hacks one left field way, slicing foul. Boston has 33 in the American League. Milwaukee 33 in the NL Central. But the Dodgers at 39. And they're throwing Randy Wolf tonight in that game against the Phils. Mets have had the Nationals number in this town. Since the start of the 05 season, the Mets are 38-11. 38-11 against the Nats in Washington. 8-2-2 in the 12th series played between these 2 clubs. Last time the Nats got the Mets was in that second last week of September in 07 when Washington helped to nail their coffin. That's a backdoor breaking ball that catches Nick Johnson looking. Levon, 5 shutout innings. He's casting a spell on the ballpark today. And here comes Jesus Calame.
Sunday afternoon, the Nats trailing the Mets now by a score of 5-0. Now this is the place to be. I am coming to you from the Red Loft. It is jam-packed out here. People are having such a great time. And Bob and Rob, you need to come out here. You need to set up right where I am standing and do the broadcast from here. It is so much fun, and I'll take this assignment any day, guys.
Well, we've talked about this before. We've put in our request, Rob.
I'm totally down with that, Debbie.
Can you see a slider from 500 feet away?
I can.
Oh, no question.
Absolutely. We get a couple of monitors up there.
Yeah.
Actually, why don't we have the monitor on the big screen?
Yeah. And we'll put up a big sign that says, "Hit an announcer, win a suit."
There you go.
Top of the 6th inning, Jesus Colomé. We'd love to go out there someday and do a game.
I like that green monster out there, batter's eye up there. I think that'd be a perfect second broadcast spot here.
We just have to make sure we have good weather or we are toast.
I'll sit out in the rain. I don't care. I don't get a lot of rain in LA. I like coming here.
I'm not worried about us. I'm worried about wearing electrical things on my head when it's raining.
And one of the security guards today wants one of those Aflac ducks. One of those ducks that Debbie had yesterday.
Yeah, well, I gave her mine. Actually, I gave it to Caitlin Taylor, but
she's got a baby.
Yeah. My kids don't want a duck; they want a car.
Remember my daughter? Remember Teddy Ruxpin? His mouth moved.
Yeah.
My daughter was like 3, I think, and she just busted that mouth. She did not like Teddy talking.
A true double.
Oh man, she just killed Teddy Ruxpin.
And by the way, Colomé is pitching here. 2-1. He goes to Ryan Church. Ryan's had 2 really good swings today. Double to right center, fly ball to deep left center, and he'll wind one up the middle. In his return to the Mets lineup, Ryan Church is 2 for 3. With all their injuries, they'll be glad to have him back. He's a steady guy in the outfield. Here's our TV schedule for the next 5. Off day tomorrow. Reds are coming in for 3 with a day game on Thursday. And then the Nats at the Rays Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And again, we'll join you at Progress at 7 o'clock because they start at 6. So evidently we're joining you at 7 o'clock straight up Saturday night from St. Petersburg, Florida. The Rays start their home games at 6:08. Brian Schneider's the hitter, and Church down to second base as Colomé threw one away. And Brian Schneider will do his job by moving his fellow ex-Nat over to third base with 1 out. Wilson Valdez will be the hitter, and then Levon Hernandez on deck. Infield in. The Nats know they cannot afford to give up any more runs. Hernandez only gave the Nats 1 run on 9 hits in a complete game the last time they faced him. He has Washington's number. Wilson Valdez 0 for 2 today and 0 for 5 in the series.
As I said before, there's a reason why this young man spent so much time in the minor leagues.
Milwaukee has tacked on 2 more runs at Atlanta. Mike Cameron has hit his 12th homer, and Ryan Braun has hit his 2nd of the day, and he has 12. So Milwaukee has 3 homers today. That puts them right up with the Nats, just above 60. Atlanta is trying to end a 3-game losing streak. And a 1-1 from Colomé to Valdez. Perfect on the corner.
Don't help this guy. Don't throw this guy a breaking ball. He's waiting for you to do it. Elevate the fastball here about chest high, and this guy will be grabbing some pine.
There it is. Perfect.
Here's a great 1-2 pitch right here by Colomé. I'd love to see him do more of this. Elevates the fastball. Valdez just a bit tardy. Yeah, it's already in the catcher's mitt.
This is an interesting number on Livan Hernandez as a hitter. It's not a sacrifice situation, but he is 6th among active players in career sacrifice bunts.
He's a heck of an athlete. He can hit.
He's got a lot more sacrifice bunts than a lot of position players do. He has 94 of them. Omar Vizquel leads all active players with 241.
Wow. Who knew about Omar?
That's a lot of at-bats to give up for your team.
That's a lot of unselfish play right there. That's like Jay Bell-esque.
It's one of the reasons he's still playing. Still in great shape. Playing great shortstop.
I talked to Ian Kinsler the other day. He loves having Vizquel on his team. It's like another player coach.
Oh, yeah.
He says he's learned so much about playing defense now from Vizquel. Vizquel's played every infield position down in Texas, by the way, giving some of his teammates more unselfish play, some time off.
And a 1-1 pitch by Colomé. Livan to Hernandez. The other Hernandez. The Mets strand their 4th runner of the day. Zimmerman, Dunn, and Dukes. It's starting to get late. And they're working on the treats today, aren't they? Warm day at the ballpark, 77 under clear skies at game time. The Mets 5 in the first, and let's use that number 5 for a comparison. Rob Ryan Zimmerman played in his 500th career game yesterday.
And the numbers kind of similar. The batting averages are close. The extra base hits are close. Game-winning RBI close. Fielding percentage, Zim's got him a little bit over there.
I think the most interesting thing to watch between these two in their careers will be the defense. Because Ryan Zimmerman, if anybody's paying attention, I think he has the edge at third base. But David Wright has already won a Gold Glove. And a lot of times, the guy who has the best offensive numbers will win the Gold Glove if he's anywhere near the other guy in terms of defense. It's not right, but that's the way it is.
It doesn't always go off of fewest errors and things like that. And I think the Gold Gloves are voted on by your peers now, and the managers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Zimmerman has one fewer error than David Wright does this year. David Wright makes the exceptional play on occasion. Zimmerman does it at least every other game or every third game.
And they're two of the most eligible bachelors in baseball right now, ladies.
Ryan Zimmerman rams one to right center. That's about where David Wright likes to hit the ball. Frightening how similar they can be. And that's only the Nationals' fourth hit. They've yet to have 2 hits in an inning. Adam Dunn's had 2 good swings today, and here he comes.
Well, we need to string a few hits together. I don't think you're going to get a lot of good swings at trying to hit it out of the ballpark today. Third time through, do something a little bit different.
Adam Dunn a hard liner to right and then a base hit to right center.
Well, they're not able to play Adam deep in the grass this time on their shift, so maybe Adam can smoke one through the infield.
And I saw Alex Cora looking into the dugout with his hands spread out like, where should I go? How deep do you want me?
He probably doesn't want to be standing where he is.
I don't blame him. He's giving that look like, hey, can I play a little deeper?
Yeah, this guy's kind of huge and swings real hard. But you know what? You can't trust Levon to try to pitch him that way. Levon may totally go against the defense and pitch him away.
He goes upstairs that time.
Up and in. I think Levon's thinking, if I make a mistake at 83 up and in here, it's going to go out at about 133.
And travel about 433.
Yep.
Zimmerman aboard, bottom of the 6th, nobody out. 1 and 2 to Adam Dunn.
Yeah, way out. See, he doesn't play fair.
He wants you to get yourself out.
Yes.
There's the super slow one for the first time today.
62.
We knew it had to happen. He waited to pull it out until his 97th pitch of the game.
Yep.
Hey. 3-2, doesn't want to walk him, but he did. Levon Hernandez, his 4th walk of the day. As many walks as hits.
Let's give you the sequence of pitches right here. Northrop Grumman, a little bit of a cutter right there, fastball away. Going to come back with a fastball up and in. And going to try to get a little cut fastball away. And he drops 62 on the outer half. Just missing the inside. Never really gave anything in the hitting zone to Adam Dunn right there. Figured he'd take his chances now with a couple of righties coming up.
The Nationals are not that many hits away from getting the tying run into the on-deck circle or the batter's box here.
Well, we need to get a run on the plate.
Dukes breaks his bat. That's an infield fly. The batter's automatically out no matter what happens. 1 out. And that's the second bat of his that Levon Hernandez has broken today.
Well, the first one he broke was way away, and then he gets jammed right here. And you even see Schneider's on the outer half of the plate. He missed with location and still broke his bat. That's when you know you're having a good day if you're Levon.
Big spot for Austin Kearns, who's 9 for his last 55. Gets jammed, double play ball, and this inning is over. On to the 7th, Levon continues to master his former ball club. 5-0 Mets.
Get your red on, Natstown, and come out to Nationals Park on June 9th for the 2009 draft party. Catch all the latest news live on the scoreboard as Nats make the #1 and #10 picks in the draft. Come out early. The first 10,000 fans will receive free 2009 draft party t-shirts. To get your tickets to the draft party, call 888-632-NATS. Visit nationals.com or stop by the Nationals Park box office today.
Great day for families at the ballpark. Hope they took advantage of the family fun pack today. Another chance to do that 2 weeks from now when the Blue Jays are here. Another scoreless inning by Jesus Colome in the Nationals bullpen so far today.
Oh, those look good. Look at those.
Ooh. By the way, the Nats bullpen over the last 14 games before today, 3 wins, 3 losses, but most impressive, a 3.02 ERA. So some of the trauma has been stabilized in that bullpen.
Some of the bloodletting is over?
Yes. For a while it was a tourniquet. Now it's down to a bandage. But that's really good news. And I think the other thing is, as these starters learn and learn more, and Manny acknowledges he can look around and see these starters, and they're a little bit better. They're a little more knowledgeable than they were just a couple of weeks ago. This process, as we get into the summer, will enable the bullpen to pitch fewer and fewer innings. That's a great slap to left field by Alex Cora, who's made his living doing that while playing excellent defense.
You know you're not going to be able to turn on that 96-mile-an-hour fastball if you're Cora. So what does he do? He cuts down on the swing and just slaps it through the left side. But you know what, Bob? The pitchers will start pitching better, especially after Randy St. Clair gets fired, when you start thinking, listen, I need to pitch for my job. And if my job depends on me getting some outs, you'll see much better pitched games. And I think probably Steve McCatty has had that conversation with a few of our gentlemen. Listen, would you rather pitch up here or down in Syracuse?
Yeah.
You decide.
Yeah, this isn't a country club where you sign up and you get to stay just because you pay every month.
You got to start playing for the name on the front, not the one on the back. And that's what a lot of these guys, I think, need to learn. I think the guys on scholarship days are over.
Fernando Martinez, the left fielder, 1 for 3 with an RBI double.
I wouldn't mind seeing Colome with his stuff run a few underneath the armpits of the Mets hitters here in a 5-0 ball game. Leaving them something to think about. This guy's got amazing ability. It just blows my mind that they sit there and swing like this off of him.
That'll be popped up into left.
Breaking ball.
Yeah, that was a hard slider. And it's caught by Adam Dunn for the first out.
And it was a good player to throw. This is a rookie. He's got no time in the big leagues. He just saw 2 great 96-mile-an-hour heaters, and then 0-2 drops an 86-mile-an-hour slider. Wasn't a great slider. Had too much of the zone, was up, but it was just enough differential, 10 miles an hour, to have that kid pop it to left.
Okay, all you coaches, tell your kids two-handed catch just like Adam Dunn did. That was textbook right there. Now, there are times when you're running after a ball at full speed, you can't do that. But on the routine play, why take a chance? Big man, lots of room to cover out there in this ballpark. And here's Carlos Beltran, 0 for 3 today, 1 for 11 in the series.
It's a bug. I hate bugs.
We get a few bugs up here.
I don't like
it.
bugs. All right, you're going.
Wait till it's 90. Well, you got him.
I know.
I was wondering why you had Q-tips in the booth.
Those are for my ears, but not today. You know, we put this makeup on, it gets in your ears.
You make up your ears?
Yeah, I'm a neat freak.
Wow.
I don't like to be dirty. We got plenty of Purell around.
Well, you know, somebody did call us Oscar and Felix even before the season started.
Well, everything else is messy, but I don't like myself, my person, to be messy.
Okay.
I mean, look at my area over here. It's just a mess.
Yeah, what kiloton was that bomb that went off over there?
I got little rags for my hands from washing my hands and rings and whatever.
I have a calculator.
Your pocket calculator.
Ask about the Nats at massinsports.com. Two and one to Beltran. Runner goes way outside. Bard a quick release, but off to the other side.
Yep. Still a pretty good play right there.
That was stolen on Colome.
And that's a hard play with a left-handed hitter up. He's got to stand. He's got to come out, go to the left side of the plate, and throw to second base. Pretty smart little play by Cora. He's just a very smart player.
Cora 4 out of 5 stealing bases. He's just a good little player.
Yeah.
When he came out of high school back in '96, he was rated the best defensive player in the country. Adam Dunn's got a ways to go for this one toward the line. He has it for the second out.
Another two-hander.
Yes, sir. And Carlos Beltran, you wouldn't think the Nats were in danger of losing this series.
1 for 12.
Carlos Beltran was 1 for 12.
I like it. It's the rest of the lineup. I don't really like what they've done to us.
David Wright 6 out of 8.
Oh, and this is just, it's like 2-3 guys that are really dangerous in this lineup, and to be down 5-0. Well, we have a shot to take the series.
If Craig Stammen doesn't walk 2 batters in the first inning, it might have been a scoreless frame, because there were 2 walks around the double and 1 out before the Mets got their next base hit. Runner looking in from second, so Colome wants to get together with Bard on their sign sequence. Just beyond the 3:30 bottom of the hour here at Nationals Park. Beautiful day. 77 degrees, clear skies. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, and Debbie Taylor. And a crowd of 30,000 plus. In fact, 31,841.
Did we get a trivia question today?
I don't remember one. What'd the duck do? Go to the beach?
Duck has the day off.
He's over at the reflecting pool gathering his thoughts.
How does he get a day off?
He's reflecting. Duck. I don't know. Ever since Debbie found him in the bat rack, somebody might have pounded him into submission down there. David Wright, a walk, a double, and this one way outside from Colome, 2-0.
Come on, Jesus. Good couple innings going here. Finish it off.
Wright gets jammed and gets a base hit. The Nats cannot get him out. 7 for 10 in this series. David Wright with his 3rd RBI in these 3 games, and the Mets lead 6-0.
Well, as I said before, he doesn't make you that nervous, even though he throws 96 and he's just got filthy stuff. 2-0. Pitches down and in on David Wright. He doesn't try to do too much. Probably most of the time he swings.
I think you bring up a great point, Rob. Jesus Colome never brushes back a batter. If we see him throw one way off the plate, it's usually a wild pitch on a slider to a right-hander. Yeah, he throws 95 and doesn't intimidate anybody.
Well, there's one. There's 97.
Hey, I feel like Albert Brooks. I said it here and it came out there.
There you go.
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you'd rather see that when it's 0-2 or 1-2.
Absolutely, and he lets it go right there. And I don't know if that was intended, but you want the hitters to be uncomfortable with just that kind of stuff. Every now and then, just effectively wild.
Daniel Murphy's had 3 good swings today. 2 hits. Now there's a ball that he overthrows and gets away.
I don't know if this could be called an emergency hack.
Well, he avoided swinging.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a swing or that's a cha-cha-cha move. If that was a trying to save your kneecap from getting drilled with 97. And that's the way you should feel when you're up there against column A. Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. I'll give you this at bat kind of stuff.
Gets a borderline strike. 2-1.
But you make a great point. You want to be 0-2. You want to get up 0-2. Guy, you get him off the plate. And then you drop that big slider in there. On to the next guy. If he could do a little more of that, he's going to get a lot more work.
So the Nats and the Mets for this series drawing over 83,000 for these 3 games, 31 plus the last 2. Cincinnati Reds coming in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
You know what uniform I haven't seen in a while? That red, white, and blue one with the DC. Yeah, need to break those bad boys back out. You listening, Mike Wallace?
He is.
I know Wally's always listening.
He's down there going dibble, creating more work for me.
Well, they can't spell DC wrong, can they?
Now, come on. That was the company.
I know. The company. Nationals. What was it? Nationals?
Nationals. Why, word on the street has it that the Zimmerman jersey is still out there floating around. That one never did get auctioned off.
The Adam.
Julian Tavares, we did auction off the Adam Dunn jersey at the Dream Foundation Gala back in May.
And I think Austin Kearns bought it. I do know that Nick Johnson bought the Albert Pujols bat.
Yeah, players are big memorabilia fans.
I was blown away by all the memorabilia that Randy Johnson has. He has all those Cy Young awards.
Yeah.
From other people.
All those scalps of hitters hanging from his den back home.
You know the only people that will be happy when he retires. The hitters.
Lefties, mainly. Yeah. Jesus Colomé turning this into a long inning. He works extremely slowly when men get on base, and that really makes things bad for his defense. Now you got a hitter stepping out. I know that Randy St. Clair talked about him, or talked with him about this numerous times over the last couple of years. He has a way of coming in and just killing a ball game. We'll see if Steve McCaddy gets that same impression after watching him a few times. And a bouncer to short. Guzman will go to first. Mets are gone in the top of the 7th. They had a run on 2 hits. They strand 2. They've left 6. And as we always do on Sunday day games, we not only have Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but we also have God Bless America. So everybody will be standing up momentarily. And just now getting his microphone on top of the first base dugout, Sal Nastasi.
Once again, Sal Nastasi.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, through the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
ballpark, but it's all Mets. 6-0 with 5 in the first. David Wright's had a big day, and he's had a big series. He's 7 for 10 against the Nats. Craig Stammen, a horrible first inning and very, very good after that. And Ryan Church's return after being on the DL, a 2 for 4 day. Here's our Coors Light Freeze cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Livan Hernandez doing a great job against Elijah Dukes all day. Freeze it on the outside half, snaps his bat. Freeze it on the inside half, snaps his bat. So Livan Hernandez gets the Coors Light Freeze cam.
Yeah, and that was with
shot of the day.
That was with 2 outs and nobody on, and then a 6-4-3 double play took care of the 6th. The world's most refreshing beer is Coors Light.
Silver bullet. Yeah, screech.
Josh Bard, 7th inning. Livan Hernandez has already thrown 101 pitches, so it's doubtful he'll go complete game against the Nats again. But he might pitch another inning or two based on how quickly this goes. Oh, look at that play by Alex Cora. Headlong dive. That wasn't a short hop. That was an in-between hop, and that's one of the better plays you will see this year.
Let's get the Exmo. Let's give Alex Cora some Exmo time. Wonderful play right here. Lays out. Nice, soft, beautiful grass on the landing, and 4-3 for the first out. Bottom of the 7th inning. That will keep you in the major leagues right there, even if you don't hit, Bob.
He's been around a long time.
Won a Gold Glove back with the Dodgers. My partner for 4 years on radio, Kevin Kennedy, and we were out in L.A. watching. He was so upset when the Dodgers let Cora go.
Of course, his older brother, Joey. Joey played in the big leagues for 11 years.
Joey's an excellent coach. A lot of people think will be a manager someday. He's with Ozzie Guillen over with the White Sox, the Chi Sox. I played with Joey back on the Chi Sox. Joey was about Alex's size. He gave Frank Thomas more grief. That's why I love Joey, but there's Alex. Alex is just a wonderful defender.
Came out of the University of Miami, and Baseball America called him the best defensive player in the country into the '96 draft when the Dodgers took him in the 3rd round.
I wonder what he signed for.
I don't know. Who is his agent? Give me an agent and I'll give you a ballpark guess.
No, but what I'm saying is that guy's worth every penny.
Yeah. 33 years of age now.
We were talking about that yesterday after the game. Ross Ohlendorf of the Pirates wrote his senior thesis at Princeton on the worth of these players after they're drafted.
Didn't you say it was like 120 some pages?
It was 126 pages long. And Tim Kirkjian says only a mathematician can figure it out because it's so brilliant. That's how smart he was. He got one wrong on the math part of the SAT. I'm glad I'm not that smart.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't need my calculator if you were that smart.
You wouldn't need it either if you were that smart. Cheat with the calculator.
Hernandez on a 3-2 pitch pops it up. It's hanging in play. And the second baseman, guess who?
Alex Cora.
Cora, 2 outs. Nats Extra. Johnny and Ray are here at the ballpark. It's presented by Verizon Fios. How did Craig Stammen survive after that 5-run, 3-hit, 2-walk first inning? Ray will have more on Tuesday's draft and what to look for. Johnny Cueto and Jordan Zimmerman Tuesday night when the Redlegs come in. Willie Harris hits for Jesus Calame here, bottom of the 7th. Julian Tavares will take over. Julian was funny today when the softball and baseball teams were parading around the ballpark. He was kissing babies, shaking hands, having a great time with the fans, taking pictures, and one of the staff had to come up to him and say, hey man, got to keep this line moving. There's 3,000 people behind these folks. But he was having a good time interacting with our fans today.
Capitol looks so close you can almost reach out and touch it. I don't think there's a cooler place to do a ball game than D.C.
We did hear the Mets are going to try to pull eminent domain on the chop shops across the street from their ballpark. They have a little entertainment district planned there, but they're
the chop shops.
I have a feeling they're going to meet.
I'm sure they'll love that you called them that.
They're going to meet some resistance.
I think they're like auto body and tire repair shops.
Of course they are. I know. But there's a whole, like a 2-block long street of them.
Trust me, the last time we were there, I spent like 2 hours a day in Brooklyn. Even with 2 GPSs, I couldn't get my way to the park.
Willie Harris jacks one to right, but going back for it is Ryan Church. 7 innings in the book for Livan Hernandez, shutting out the Nats on 4 hits. He strikes. He knows when he's done for the day, and he had some compliments for the ump on his way out. Follow the Nats on your iPhone and iPod Touch. It's MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play video highlights, live audio. Visit Nationals.com on your iPhone or iPod to purchase. Julian Tavares takes over for the Nationals. Still trying to bring his ERA of 5.31 down. 26th appearance. Joel Hanrahan, the only busier reliever, with 27. And a typical day for Livan Hernandez. 7 innings, 4 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Gives up absolutely nothing to a good hitting ball club here in Washington.
And 15 first pitch strikes to go along with those 70 strikes and 116 pitches. Just a masterful performance.
Brian Schneider 0 for 2 with a sac fly, steps in.
I think the hardest pitch he threw all day was 87. Slowest was 62.
Yeah, that 87 was probably a foot outside. The one thing I've noticed that Livan doesn't do as much as he used to. He used to throw a serious swing back fastball in on the hands of left-handers. Doesn't seem like he wants to live in there too much anymore. He's probably lost 2 or 3 miles an hour since he pitched here 2 years ago. But he takes the fastball and just shows it to you away. 2-0 to Schneider. He rips it by the glove of Nick Johnson. Over to retrieve Austin Kearns. Livan being Livan, Rob Dibble.
It's a good teacher to a lot of our younger pitchers. Should be out there watching him pitch today. changing eye level all day, changing speeds. Hitters will let you know, Bob, what you're featuring. A little bit of defense there, fielding his position, knocking that ball down so Alex Cora can easily throw somebody out. But I think the key to his success is he tries to locate every pitch. It has meaning. Yeah, and I think that's the lesson for our pitchers.
And a bouncer to short, right at the runner. Guzman gets an out there. Interesting play. Brian Schneider wandered too far. He's not as fast a foot as Guzman, so Christian went ahead and tagged out unassisted the lead runner.
Well, this ball is hit very hard right here, and it kind of gets Murphy in between. And he's like, oh, I'm dead to rights at third, and he goes back for second. Christian Guzman makes a nice athletic play. I was saying about Levon and our hitters will let you know what you're featuring that day, and that Austin Kern swing that you saw in the highlights just shows you guys were confused and off balance all day.
Jeremy Reed will follow it off to the left side. He is one of the Mets who came over in that crazy deal that brought Sean Green and J.J. Putz to the Mets. Right-hander Joe Smith, another player to Cleveland, and then 7 players ended up in Seattle, including Aaron Heilman and Endy Chavez. He'll just line one out to center. It keeps going. Dukes almost stopped too quickly on that ball. Had to do a little hop and a skip to stay with it.
Well, Heilman ended up in Chicago with the Cubs.
Yeah.
But Elijah Dukes going back on the ball. A good play.
Top of the order, Alex Cora again.
He's going right to center. Back to right field. Back to center field. He's doing a good job. It's not easy to do that.
And a lot of guys flat out refuse to do it. Kearns does it without complaint. Adam Dunn does it without complaint. Ground ball. Good play. Hernandez. Can he throw him out? Yes. Well done by the second baseman here with the gloves today. Christian Guzman looking to get things started. The Nats need a whole bunch. Guzman, Johnson, Zimmerman, bottom of the 8th. Against the Giants and the Mets. And Rob, I think the most disappointing things about the week after that 10-6 pounding of that one night with all that offense, Nats came back and played poorly after that, and then a real high last night, and then 5 in the first by the Mets here today.
And that's going to happen. I mean, you got a rookie going out there making his 4th ever major league start against a wily seasoned veteran in Levon Hernandez, who kept us off balance all day, and that 5 runs early in the ball game really killed us. So, you know, he did come back and pitch well after that, but you know, if we're going to, you know, stick it out with these rookies, we're going to have days like today.
And, you know, the key is stringing together good starts. The defense gets better. You don't have to have that much hitting to win ball games, but that's not the case today.
Yeah, and the starting pitchers, even though they're young, they're talented enough to shut down other teams, especially this is a bad Mets team right now. They have a lot of injuries. They don't have a lot of power in their lineup. We've kept Beltran pretty much at bay the entire series. I think he's 1 for 12. So bottom line is now Feliciano's in the game and they're up 6-love.
Pedro Feliciano to Christian Guzman. Guzman batting from the right side of the plate at 360. Mike McDougall. And Manny probably wants him today to pitch in the 9th inning in a non-pressure situation.
Well, we have a day off tomorrow. Yeah, I was just going to say.
And then he can come and close on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whichever. Or maybe all. Who knows?
And he probably gave him the option of throwing in the pen or throwing in a live game. And Mike hasn't had a lot of game action this year. He's probably said, hey, I don't care if it's 6-0, I'll go out there.
I know you can't fall in love with something you saw for a couple of at-bats. But his performance here Friday night against Gary Sheffield and company, truly impressive. A 1-2 to Guzman. Changeup strikes him out. Cal Ripken All-Stars, Valley League All-Stars meet Mid-Atlantic Classic July 15th in Waldorf. It'll be on Mass and HD at 7:05. You can come out early if you're in the area. A home run derby at 5:30, admission free. They will accept donations. And there's the website and the phone number for more information.
Nick Johnson comes up to the plate with bringing sexy back. That cracks me up every time. I know my wife likes that song too when he comes up to the plate with it. Just don't see Nick dancing to Justin Timberlake.
I don't know, you
just never know with these boys.
When we covered the bases with him, 2 weeks ago?
He thinks he's a singer.
Liz Johnson told us he's quite something, at least in his own mind, on the karaoke machine.
Yep, he thinks he's a singer.
Nothing sadder.
I see a segment. Nick singing.
Yeah. Nick's picks.
Nick sings the blues. Nick sings the show tunes.
Nick does Sinatra. Who knows how far this could go.
Yep. Old Blue Eyes.
Nick 0 for 3 today, pair of strikeouts. That's a nasty breaking ball from Pedro Feliciano.
Well, Nick's from Sacramento, so he probably likes the Beach Boys. Last pitch. This is down under right there. Big hook from Feliciano.
There's no beach in Sacramento.
He's from California.
Yeah, I know, but it's inland a couple hours.
So on his way to the beach, he threw on the Beach Boys.
All right. I've learned long enough I got to pick my battles with you.
Yeah, you can't get in my head.
This copyrighted telecast, inside or outside the cranium of Dibble, is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Here's Ryan Zimmerman. Base hit last time. Ryan in this series 3 for 10. But for 2 games, the bat's extremely quiet with last night's explosion in between.
Well, you know that's going to happen. I mean, they've been hitting so well all year. And that's when the pitchers have to step up a little bit. Realize, occasionally I need to throw a 7-inning, 3-hit shutout performance. That's what teams do.
Levon's about to go 5-1 for the Mets, by the way. His 4.33 ERA will come down a bunch.
Besides what Levon did to us, he saved his bullpen also.
Yeah.
And that'll get a lot of smiles. Now, where are they going after this?
Home.
Yeah, so that'll be a lot of smiles on the way home for Levon.
The Mets are hosting the Phillies for 3 blockbuster games this week. Night games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they go to Yankee Stadium and Baltimore. So quite a week, quite a sequence coming up. Ryan Zimmerman's on with 2 outs.
Check out Feliciano's delivery right here. This is going to give lefties a lot of fits, even righties. He kind of turns his back a little bit, and then he's going to sidewind it in there.
By the way, Livan Hernandez ERA started the day at 4.33. It's at 3.88 with his 7 shutout innings today. And here's Adam Dunn. Adam's been on twice. Breaks his bat. The bat's fair, the ball's foul. And that was a projectile flying about 120 feet out beyond first base.
You want to talk about getting in somebody's kitchen right there. Well, you just witnessed it.
Look at that.
Running fastball in on the hands and just snaps this bat. A lot of what Feliciano does, it's not just stuff, it's deception. And the ball gets up on you quick when it's hard to pick up, and just Adam, he's that strong where he gets sawed off and throws the bat out into right field.
I just hope that somehow we can keep those things out of the stands.
I don't know. With all the ash, I guess, that's dying because of the bugs. We'll be using a lot of maple bats from now on. It's just time to start regulating them. That if they're too top heavy, you can't take them out to a ball game. When aluminum bats got too dangerous at the college and high school and lower levels, they toned them down so the ball doesn't jump off aluminum anymore. Well, you got to start looking at wood bats and saying, listen, they're snapping off way too much. So obviously there's something different about today's bat than 20 years ago.
1-2 to Dunn. Breaking ball that came curving right over the plate, but low. And the count's 2-2.
And I talked to one of the main 6 manufacturers that make bats, and they said it's not the bat companies, it's the players that are modifying them. There's a big breaking ball, 75 below the zone, hoping that Adam Dunn will bite on it.
Yeah, we've heard of players shaving off parts of the handle to make the bats really top heavy.
Well, they'll do anything for a little more quickness, you know, and I don't blame them, but you still need maybe somebody at every ballpark, whether you train an umpire or whatever, to look at the bats and say, hey, you know what, you're not using that thing. You sawed off the inside of the bat, you got shaved too much down.
Yeah,
it's dangerous.
Go use it in BP, but that's
right.
it. 3-2 to Dunn with the runner moving, and Adam fouls it away.
I mean, even hockey sticks now have like a titanium middle. And if they shatter, it's just down low where the metal isn't, you know, the metal goes from the top of the stick to the bottom. I've coached hockey. And that's probably saved a lot of people because those sticks, when they were all wood and fiberglass, would snap in the middle. Maybe you look into putting some kind of fiberglass covering on the bat. It can't come apart so easily.
3-2 to Dunn again. Zimmerman on the move. Adam base hit left field. And then David Wright retreats over to third base to stay in front of Ryan Zimmerman. Runners at first and second. Elijah Dukes has had 2 at-bats today with a total of 3 men on base. So a good day for Adam Dunn. 2 singles and a walk. You can't hit a home run every day. You got to take singles if that's what they're giving you. Jerry Manuel coming out to get his lefty.
Or discuss what's going on, but I think he's going to take him out and bring Sean Green in this ballgame.
There's a pitcher walking to the gate of the bullpen.
I think the Mets have been playing so poorly lately that he's managing this like it's a 1-run ball game.
All right. right there. The guy on the left enjoying a 6-0 lead for his Mets, bottom of the 8th here. And hard throwing triple-digit potential Bobby Parnell for the Mets. 6'4", 200. He can bring it. Bobby Parnell, 28th game. Pedro Feliciano just pitched in his 30th. J.J. Puts on the DL, having appeared in 29. They're the busiest Mets relievers. And here's Elijah Dukes 0 for 3 with 3 balls in the air. '86. He took a little bit off, huh?
I have no idea what that pitch was.
That was a changeup. It was pretty straight. There's that high riding fastball. 96, but he missed with it.
We would call that easy gas. I mean, he's barely picking his leg up, throwing. 96.
Unscored upon in 8 of his last 9 outings. Dukes was pumping on 2-0.
How I said it, hitters will let you know. Well, this ball is by Elijah Dukes, who's a very good fastball hitter.
Yeah, just up high enough. Dukes connects with that one, but he lines it right at Beltran, and that's it for the Nats in the 8th inning. Washington stranding 8 runners today into the 9th. It's all Mets. Nationals nothing. It's been all New York since the second at bat of the game when Fernando Martinez doubled in their first run after a walk. And that's our 4th drive of the game, Rob. He took a ball 400 feet to the wall in deep left center.
Well, we finally saw a little bit of action out of the rookie. He smoked it 400 feet.
Nick Johnson almost had him picked off second base there.
Capped off a 5-run top of the first inning, and so far the Nationals have not recovered. Mike McDougall now in, Bob.
Mike McDougall as a Nat, 2 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, neither earned, a walk and 3 strikeouts. Let's see if he's got that high octane thing going that he had here on Friday night when he came in the 7th inning and struck out pinch hitter Gary Sheffield and then grounded out Alex Cora.
K-Rod getting up, and now you got the rookie Martinez up there. Let's get the 4th drive of the game. How do you like that? Wow. 96.
Well, and they have an off day tomorrow. They want to keep K-Rod ready for the Fightin' Phils who come in to their ballpark on Tuesday night. That'll be a great atmosphere. That's some severe jamage right there. It took Nick an extra second to get the ball out of his glove, and then he whipped it right by McDougal. Probably an error on Johnson, which would be his 6th of the year.
Well, this is just a bad transfer here by Nick, trying to do a little shovel pass over to McDougal.
Took him too long.
Yeah, it gets caught in his glove, and then he threw it behind him. Would have been a fumble in football.
Nats just cannot get through a ball game here and there without making an error. That's number 54 on the year. Carlos Beltran still looking for a base hit today. Well, I think that's a harsh call. They've now changed it to E1, and Beltran will make it 7-0. That's his first RBI of this weekend.
Well, after the error, McDougal tries to work ahead right there. Right down the middle fastball, and Carlos Beltran, just that quick, easy swing that he has, and smokes it into the gap. Don't have to do too much when the guy's throwing 95. Supplying a lot of power.
Kind of strange they would announce that error on Nick and then so quickly change it to the pitcher. Those kind of debates usually take a while. Runner at second, a run in. All Mets, 7-0 here in the 9th. And unlike last night, when a good part of the crowd of 31,456 stayed around and soaked in the pleasant surroundings, a lot of them today are on their way to the Metro. Last night was a special night. You don't get those very often until you have a very, very good baseball team with great pitching. So we got a little taste of that last night. David Wright 2 for 3, walk, double, RBI single. Mets fans haven't left. 96 on that fastball for a strike, 2-2. Daniel Murphy's had a good day on base 3 times. Three and two. Whoa. After the off day tomorrow, the Cincinnati Reds are coming in. Jordan Zimmerman winless in his last 7 starts. He's 2-3 with a very high ERA of 5.71, still learning his craft at this level. Johnny Cueto, 4th best opponent's batting average in the National League at 2.13 for the Cincinnati Reds. Cueto 5-3, good looking young pitcher with a good ERA of 2.43. Ground ball, Nick Johnson has it. Pitcher covers for the relay, and a very nice 3-6-1 double play. Nationals' first twin killing of the afternoon. A runner at third, 2 outs.
That was nicely done, though, by Nick Johnson. Mike McDougal getting over there. That's a harsh error on the pitcher. That ball that Nick threw him was behind him.
Yeah, I don't get that call.
Yeah, but at this point, it's kind of a moot point in a 7-0 ball game. But that was nicely done right there. Our defense has definitely picked up a notch.
Ryan Church drives it to left. Adam Dunn is there. We're going to the bottom of the ninth. As soon as Adam catches it, the Mets pick up an unearned run and lead 7-0. Kearns, Bard, and Hernandez coming up.
Post game, the Nationals have one last shot to avoid a shutout today at the hands of the New York Mets, trailing 7-0. As good as things went last night, Ray, today it didn't quite exactly pan out the same way.
Kind of a reversal role, Johnny. They got off to 5 runs in the first inning. Very wild with Stammen. He righted himself, but once again, Livan Hernandez, who pitched 9 full innings last time out, was able to shut us down with an assortment of soft pitches.
All right, let's see if they can get back in this ball game and do some damage here in the bottom of the ninth. Back to Bob Carpenter and Rob Dibble.
Thank you, Johnny Holiday. And for the Nats, Kearns, Bard, and Hernandez, and K-Rod, they call him, Francisco Rodriguez, getting some work here in the bottom of the ninth.
Fastball, slider, changeup. Set the single season record, Bob, for saves last year with 62. It's already 15 for 15 this year with the New York Mets. One of their better investments in the offseason.
Kearns 0 for 2 with a walk today. And Francisco Rodriguez saved the game here, his 15th on Friday night, with a bang, 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 1-2-3, 10th. Seven runs on 11 hits by the Mets today. The Nats have been shut down on 5 base hits. In danger of being shut out for only the second time this year. Both of those would be here at home. One to Austin Kearns. Can't catch up with that. 1-2. Josh Bard waiting, and then Anderson Hernandez. And then the bench if it gets any farther than these 3 hitters. What did you mean the other night when you said he throws every pitch with conviction?
He throws every pitch like it's the last one he'll ever throw. He's committed to that pitch one at a time. I'm going to throw it with maximum effort And the one thing I can respect the most about him is that's the way I tried to play. I mean, this guy's in a 7-0 game, and everything that he's got into that slider. Here it is right here. Everybody calls it violent. I just think that it's fabulous. And try and hit this slider. It's everything I got.
Remember the changeup he threw to Nick Johnson on 3-2 the other night?
Yeah, but I mean, he knew he could throw for a strike.
I mean, Nick totally expecting the #1. And he gets a devastating changeup to end the game.
It's total conviction, Bob, and we just need that from our young pitchers, to where, like a Craig Stammen, when you come out in that first inning, every pitch has to be like, if I can't get this guy out, they're going to pull me out of the game kind of attitude. Or if I don't get through this inning and throw a shutout, no-hit inning, they're going to send me back to the minor leagues. It's kind of the way Albert Pujols plays the game in St. Louis. Yeah. Someone's after my job every day, so I have to better myself every day. Here's the strikeout right here of Austin Kearns. It's just a hard 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and you get your hands that close to your body, I don't think you're going to catch up to that pitch.
Yeah, I think I told you the story about how Pujols comes to spring training every day, and on this first day, every year, on the first day, he says, "I'm here to win my job."
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And people are like, what?
And Tony La Russa just marvels at what a wonderful young man he is and how special he is, and that's a perfect attitude, that my job is in jeopardy every time I step on that field. And that's why I respect this kid that's out there on the mound right now. That's the way I think he approaches every hitter and every pitch that he throws.
It seems like time and time again he falls behind batters
just so he can,
and then he comes back and gets them.
I truly believe he just loves to pitch. He just, this is my time. I'm going to enjoy every second out here.
And a breaking ball, 2-1.
But I have to question why. You're up 7-0. Just throw it over the plate. See if this guy will hit it. But he doesn't think like that. What makes him special is he thinks it's 1-0 every time he gets in the game. And I have to be careful with every hitter. He might throw a 2-1 slider right here, 7-0. He did. It's amazing to me.
So how do you get a scouting report on him? I guess you don't.
You don't. You go up there and you say, you know what, you're going to have to give your best at bat. And I hope that all the hitters that I faced felt the same way, that you're going to have to give your best at bat, because I don't care if we're up 10 runs, down 10 runs, I'm going to give you my best effort.
And a 1-out walk to Bard. Anderson Hernandez is 0 for 3 today and 0 for 11 against his former team. And barring a double play, Ronnie Belliard will bat here for the pitcher McDougal. That little chopper will be handled by Murphy. He goes to second base on a 3-6. And the Mets now are 1 out away from winning a series in Washington for the 9th time in 13 series over these 5 years.
Well, at least Frankie Rodriguez can count on the hardest swings he's ever seen from a hitter coming up right here.
Hilliard, 3 for 16 as a pinch hitter with a homer and 4 RBIs. Pop up. I got it, says Murphy, and so do the Mets. 2 hours and 48 minutes for them to shut out the Nationals. 7-0, only the second time this year. Rob, the Nats have been shut down.
Well, it was a difficult start when you're down 5.